Technology that is built for your every sense. Acer Pure from Acer.
The President of Nepal, Mr. Paudel, has accepted the resignation of KP Sharma Oli. The President's office, in fact, has issued a statement that it has approved the resignation of KP Sharma Oli, who stepped down as the Prime Minister of Nepal. Ramchandra Paudel has also, in the statement, said that the current Council of Ministers will continue to govern till the new Council of Ministers is formed. Let's go across to Priyank, who continues to be with us on the broadcast. So, with immediate effect, KP Sharma Oli stepped down. It has been accepted by the President, Mr. Ramchandra Paudel of Nepal.
Yes, Swati, that is an important development after resignation of KP Sharma Oli, the outgoing Prime Minister of Nepal. Now the President of Nepal has accepted his resignation and also the resignation of the Council of the Minister, which means the cabinet is dissolved. Now Nepal does not have any Prime Minister, and the President rule has been imposed in Nepal from now onwards. So that is an important development. Amidst that, we have seen that one of the Gen Z's voice, one of the person who is considered to be the mayor, who's coming up forward as the top contender for the Prime Minister post, has also appealed to the people to maintain calm and peace in the country. So the next few hours before the sunset actually happens is going to be very important, because last night what we saw, that there was a major hunt by the forces there on the ground, which were looking for the police officials, were looking for those set of protesters who were involved in the vandalism, which also resulted into the death of 19 protesters. Now the fact of the matter is that after the President has accepted the resignation of Oli, certainly the cabinet is dissolved, President rule has been imposed, and now let's see how the next government formation will happen. But amidst that, there's no statement which has come out from the Royal Majesty's house, from the royal family's house, so that we can exactly know that what is their point forward. Since yesterday, there is no comment which has come out from the house of the King of Nepal, so that we can actually know that whether what is going to be their stake into this, whether they want to come into power, whether they want to come in a democratic manner, or what is going to be happening next when the election will be happening. So multiple things need to happen on the ground, but the big priority for the army in picture, which has taken control of the situation on the ground, is to control the law and order, to maintain peace, to send back the protesters to their houses, and no casualty should happen in Nepal is on the top priority.
Absolutely. The role of the monarchy also will be watched and very, very closely monitored. Priyank, stay on with us. Let's shift our focus to another shocking visual that came in from Nepal. The visuals of the Finance Minister of Nepal, Mr. Vishnu Paudel, running on the streets of Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal, and people chased after him. In the visual, one can see how a man kicked him. The Finance Minister of Nepal attacked him. He came under attack, and then you had some people, part of the protest, who were trying to shield him, who were trying to help him. On the other hand, in the second set of visuals that you see, armed mob, presence of armed mob on the streets of Kathmandu. They can be seen, people can be seen wielding rifle on the streets of the capital of Nepal. So that's how chaos is unfolding at the moment in our neighboring country, in Nepal. How is India monitoring the situation, Priyank?
India is keeping a close watch. Yesterday also we got to know that the MEA is keeping was keeping a close coordination with the Ministry of Home Affairs, which is there in Nepal. But after the Home Minister and the cabinet resigning from its post, there has to be a clear-cut coordination which happened from the President's house, because all these departments have not been functioning. There's curfew which is imposed in Nepal. All Indians have been doing, the Indian authorities have been doing, is to keep a close watch on the bordering area, because what was anticipated that these hooligans, those protesters who have been involved in these kind of attack on the Parliament and the residences of the Prime Minister and other dignitaries would attempt to enter India for a time being, till the time the situation actually normalized. But after looking at the cabinet itself fleeing away from Nepal. The Prime Minister also attempting to flee away from Nepal, although the confirmation is awaited from his side that what is going to be the further course of action will be closely monitored by the Indian authorities. But amidst that, there's a very high level of vigil which has been there on the bordering state of Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, which has been sharing border with Nepal. So let's see what's going to happen next. But as I was telling you, next few hours are very crucial, very critical, whether the protesters will go back home or they will come out on street in full swing in a move of celebration is going to be seen next.
Right. Stay on with us, Priyank. We have more breaking inputs coming in on the broadcast. We're given to understand that the protesters are celebrating now after KP Sharma Oli has stepped down as the Prime Minister of Nepal. Protesters are celebrating at the private residence of former Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's house. His private residence in Bhaktapur was set on fire by the protesters who barged inside his private residence. The former Prime Minister now, Mr. KP Sharma Oli, stepped down this afternoon amid demonstrations against the government over alleged corruption. It all began as a protest against the government's decision to ban social media platforms, 26 social media platforms. Soon you saw the protesters speak about the issue of corruption of this government, and then mass-scale protest. And then you saw the protesters barging inside the parliament complex, chasing after ministers. Chaos soon started unfolding. Pressure was mounting on KP Sharma Oli, who has now stepped down as the Prime Minister of Nepal. And these are visuals coming in from Bhaktapur. From Bhaktapur, on one hand, you see the private residence of the the former Prime Minister of Nepal, Mr. KP Sharma Oli, and on the other, that's the Parliament of Nepal that was set on fire as well. Now remember, Balen Shah, who's the mayor of Kathmandu, is urging people to practice restraint. He is also appealing to them to maintain calm and peace. He says the murderers of the protester has resigned, so people should now practice restraint. Let me go across to Priyank. Priyank, in that Facebook post of Balen Shah towards the end, he also talks about dissolving the parliament. He says that it should be disrupted before the dialogue takes place.
Yes, these are the indicators which were already coming in, but now he has officially put on his social media platform, because we know it for the fact, Swati, that now the attack on the parliament is certainly an attack on the democracy, but at the same time, Balen Shah is also raising suspicion to avoid any kind of further military force or military regime in the country. There has to be peace and calm which need to be maintained by the protesters. He has also been clearly giving a message to the protesters that we have achieved what we had to do. We have also got big relief for those martyrs who have sacrificed their life because of the resignation which came out from O.P. Sharma Oli, the then Prime Minister of Nepal, who has just a short while back resigned, and now we are getting to know that the president has also accepted his resignation. So there is an attempt through social media platform itself to control the protesters. You can imagine, this has never happened in the history that the country has changed its regime by the Gen Zs on the ban on the social media. We know it for the fact that social media is emerging as a big part for the political parties to use it for their political information flow. Sometimes it's also being used as propaganda. But Nepal is the first country which was initially ruled by the monarchy, then they shifted to the democratic form of the government, and now the government has been toppled by the protesters on the point that the social media platforms have been banned. Right. So this is not only a message to Nepal, this is a message to all the countries, because not only Nepal, all the countries are observing this kind of new trend which is coming, that the social media being the biggest triggering factor for toppling of a government has been witnessed in the history of any independent country.
Do stay on with us, Priyank. We have Major General G.D. Bakshi joining us on the broadcast. Way back in 2006, Major General G.D. Bakshi, there was a movement, a people's movement in Nepal, which was to overthrow the king, King Gyanendra. But the situation was not grim as it is today. Even in 2006, we are looking at visuals coming in, Major General G.D. Bakshi, one of the parliament completely set on fire. And then you have visuals of the protesters waving weapons, rifles on the streets of Kathmandu, and the private residence of KP Sharma Oli set on fire as well, and the protesters celebrating there.
Look, I had been warning of this for quite some time. You know, there were some people in Delhi who felt that KP Sharma Oli is unassailable, don't support the, Raja Lao Desh Bachao movement at all. It matters nothing. KP Sharma Oli is the go-to man. He has everything under control. Where is KP Sharma Oli? If he is not already fled, he is about to flee. And I hope we won't get him here. Let him go to wherever he wants to. He has been looting the people of Nepal. The people of Nepal were getting fed up because there was no opposition that could take up their grievances. There was no media that could stand up. The opposition, if the KP Oli, actually the Congress had gotten more votes. But KP said only the communists can rule Nepal because Rajiv Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi had put them in power there after a bloody armed insurgency against the king of Nepal, right? And that time we had scored a major self-goal by putting Maoists and communists into power in Nepal. And quite obviously they went straight to bed with China and etc., etc. But the fact of the matter is, they have brought it upon themselves. If you treat your people, there are no jobs, there is no employment, prices are rising, there is nepotism, there is absolute corruption. You can't get anything done without paying money. Everybody else is there to loot. It has become a singular system. All political parties have joined hands to loot. The so-called democratic system that we had helped to usher in. I'm sorry, it has been a bit of a bloody failure in the execution. There's nothing wrong with the system of democracy. It is how it is operated. Every year the governments are changing. Aaya Ram, Gaya Ram, Gaya Ram, Aaya Ram. There is no continuity. There is no this thing. The people are fleeing outside to seek jobs in Dubai, to seek jobs in Japan. Because at least there are ethnically coherent there, seek jobs everywhere. 25% of the GDP of Nepal is based on remittances by overseas Nepalese. Now you suddenly ban the social media, right? You forget that all the calls that people have to make to their loved ones in Dubai or Japan or in India, either they pay through their nose by calling on the international phone lines, right? Or on WhatsApp they get it free. They are poor as it is. ऊपर से काम आप ऐसी पेट पे लात मारो और so quite obviously the people of the youngsters of Nepal are in red hot revolt. Now we can always say the CIA did it. The CIA can't do so much unless there is a real groundswell of anger it can plug into.
Right.
It has plugged into that. We should have seen it coming. I had been personally warning of this. For God's sake, there is going to be an explosion in Nepal. Nepal needs a change, right? Now, no, we are very friendly with KP Oli and our diplomats are so good to him, he's so good to our diplomats, etc., etc. Everybody was saying KP Oli is the man to go to.
Right.
He's so powerful, nothing will happen of the Raja Lao Desh Bachao agitation. Don't waste your time on it, forget it. KP Oli is the go-to man. Well, right. KP Oli is weak, sir.
All right.